everybody, it's Rococo. Welcome back to my channel, or possibly welcome for the very first time. We're happy to have you here. Today we're going to have a little bit of a chat about mental health. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist or therapist, so I'm not going to be giving you any kind of advice that you would need from a professional because that would be inappropriate. But I would like to bring in some dialogue about a subject that is very important to me and very important to my planning. While we have our little chat, we're going to be setting up an emotion tracker in my bullet journal and taking a peek at some of the pages I created with mental health in mind. If you'd like to see some art and quotes I've made about mental health, feel free to head over to my Instagram that matches this channel, Rococo Does Designs. So, mental health and planning. The two are more ingrained, I find, than perhaps you would expect. Not only does planning give you exercise in using systems you create to self-mediate, but it also provides a context of affirmation and reinforcement for positive habits and progress. I personally rely on being able to plan quite a bit in my daily life. When I plan, a huge part of my process is making sure that everything I need to do happens. Everything from posting for you folks to taking medication, my brain loves to play games on what it's gonna remember. So if I have it written down, I don't have to play that game with my brain and I make sure things get done. But there's also something else that comes from having things written down, and that's a feeling of accomplishment. Now, it's different for everyone, but for me, having a physical representation of the fact that I've accomplished something or that I've completed something is hugely motivational. Not only am I seeing that I'm making progress, but I'm also acknowledging the work I'm putting in. And for me, seeing it all there, making beautiful spreads, putting in the work, is an active celebration of all the wonderful little things we do in our day-to-day life. When it comes to mental health, there's a lot of way that it manifests, and it's not always a positive thing. We get upset, we get angry, we get overwhelmed. It's part of life regardless if we like it or not. A big thing to understand about the times when our feelings get low, or they're just not happening in pleasant ways, is we need to acknowledge them for what they are, a sign that something needs to be addressed, and not try and gloss them over or sweep them under the rug. We improve ourselves by acknowledging those bad feelings and feeling them, and then trying to understand them. If we demand only happiness or only positive vibes or only moving forward and forgetting, we're doing something called toxic positivity. It's the same idea as too much of a good thing can become bad. If you never make space for a negative emotion, you create an environment that can only feed negativity because you're not addressing it. You're not acknowledging the reality of what human emotions do, which is fluctuate. So when we acknowledge our fluctuations, when we work on an understanding where these feelings come from, that is when we have a productive positivity. In planning, a way we can acknowledge that natural fluctuation of emotion is something called an emotion tracker. Now there's many other ways, but I particularly like this one. You've probably seen them in bullet journals or around planner Instagram. Emotion trackers are great for acknowledging your experience, but they're also great for recognizing patterns. If you have a professional helping you, you can even use this kind of tracker to point out things that you've noticed. Maybe you've been having more down days than usual. That's something you could bring up and explore. No matter what, seeing these patterns and seeing the range of your emotion as it exists is an opportunity to explore your needs in a very healthy way. Another way that you can take care of yourself with planning is keeping track of your medications. I myself take medication, and so do many other people. Whether you just take daily vitamins or you have something specific that's prescribed, like an inhaler or a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, there's a way to take your medications properly, and you should follow those directions. If you have more than one to take, sometimes it can get overwhelming trying to manage them all. That's a lot of things to juggle, so having a way to track how you take your medication can be really beneficial. I made some paper options here, but you can also have physical containers that separate by night and day or day of the week, hours, anything. I have one that has containers for each day of the month so I can keep track of the ones I've taken and when I need to go for a refill. I highly recommend either having a paper tracker or a container tracker. Interestingly enough, I would say a third and final way you could talk about how planning assists with mental health is also a tracker. A goal tracker, to be specific. The key to success for goals is to make sure they are something we can quantify or measure. I want to read more books is a nice goal, but I want to read 10 books by the end of summer is a goal that you can actively work towards and measure your progress with. If you use a planner to manage your goals, not only are you forcing yourself to create a means of measuring and quantification for your progress, but you're also giving yourself the opportunity to get extra reinforcement and confidence by marking off the steps you achieve on your way. I personally love this feeling, and I have many goal trackers because of it. I also have trackers on collections I work on, for my workouts, through my social media posts. Heck, in some cases, I have trackers for my trackers, and it makes me feel good to have these. It makes me feel accomplished, and if you feel like it would be something that would benefit you and keep you motivated and excited about your goals, then I 1000% suggest that you make yourself one. You deserve to celebrate the things you work for and the things you achieve. And for me, this is a way of celebrating, and it might be a good way for you as well. Regardless of your gender, regardless of your ethnicity or heritage, regardless of your religious beliefs, acknowledging what your mental health needs is key to caring for yourself. For me, planning helps me do that, and I personally encourage exploring planning as a means of self-care for you too. Even if it doesn't work out to be something that fits your needs, that's okay. What matters is that you're listening to yourself and you're acknowledging and validating your experience and emotions and needs. You as a person are worthy of love, respect, and care from those around you and from yourself, however that needs to come. In my best case scenario, I hope this video helped point at least one person in the direction of something that could help them out as they journey forward as their authentic self. But if nothing else, I hope this video provided some time for relaxation amongst the chaos of existence. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. It builds me up personally to see you interacting and watching, and I appreciate all of your likes, comments, shares, views, and subscribes. I know our Rococo family isn't huge quite yet, but it's really nice to share with those of you who are here. Until next time, love ya!